Welcome to the Income Tax School's Learning Management System Navigation Tutorial, also known as LMS. In this video, we will show you how to easily navigate our LMS so you can get started with your course right away. When you first log into your course, you will see Site News at the top of the homepage. Site News is where you will find important announcements or updates that our school administration team has shared with our students. Below this, you'll find My Courses. This is where you'll find your registered courses. All students automatically receive access to the course introduction and outline and the Student Resource Center. Before you can begin your course material, you must complete a couple of items in the course introduction and outline. The first thing you must complete is an acknowledgement of and agreement to our Terms of Use and Disclaimer Statement. Here you will agree not to copy, redistribute, or publish the courses in any manner. You must also read the legal disclaimer regarding our courses. Next, you will need to agree to our academic honesty policy, where you will pledge to complete our courses with complete honesty and in good faith. You will also be alerted to our grading policies and the fact that your grades will be monitored through the LMS. The rest of the course introduction and outline includes a place for you to provide us with your Preparer Tax Identification Number, also known as your PTIN, and if you are a tax preparer in California, your California Tax Education Council number, also known as your CTEC number. We ask for these numbers so that we may properly report your credits once you have successfully completed a course with us. This section also includes more information on our courses, navigation, and frequently asked questions, or FAQs. The Student Resource Center contains important announcements about the website, your courses, and external resources that are useful to your training. Once you complete these sections, you can begin your course by clicking on the course in the My Courses section. We will be using our 2020 Comprehensive Income Tax course in this example, so there may be slight differences if you are taking a different course, but most of the navigation principles will be the same. Within your course, you will see several useful areas on the right side of the screen. Course Resources contains PDFs of each chapter, tax forms, worksheets, and other resources specific to your course. There are also links to take you directly back to the course intro and outline and Student Resource Center. Course Support helps you quickly contact instructor or school admin support. Chapter Progress tracks your overall course progress per activity within each chapter. A green check means you have successfully completed the activity, while a red check indicates an incomplete or failed grade. At the top right corner of your screen, you will see your profile name, which will open a drop-down menu when hovered over with your cursor. This is where you can edit your account preferences, open a calendar, see messages or other posts, access forums, and view your grades. Each chapter is organized into 3 sections: lesson materials, which include chapter materials, study questions, and learning activities; graded assignments, which include study questions and learning activity tests; and learning activity scenario solutions, which are the solutions or answer keys to graded activities. These 3 sections should be completed in order from top to bottom and left to right. Simply click on either the heading or the icon below it to begin each section. If you do not complete a prerequisite activity, you will not be allowed to continue to the next step. You can refer to the completion progress blocks on your right to verify that you are on track. Please note that opening a PDF file does not always mark an activity as being completed. You may need to refresh your browser to enable you to move on to the next step in your course. Throughout the course, you may notice hyperlinks. These are glossary terms, links to important forms and publications, and PDFs to visual aids that help students further understand course material. These links will open in a new window. To move through each lesson, simply use the navigational arrows at the bottom of the slide you are viewing to continue to the next slide or to go back to a previous slide. When working on review questions, select your answer from the available options and then click the checkbox in the bottom left corner to receive feedback for both correct and incorrect answers. Notice the instructions regarding the number of times you can attempt the test and how much the test is worth. Answer choices in the tests are randomized. Please be careful when selecting your answer, as it is unlikely they will appear in the same order as in your textbook or in the chapter download. If you are unsure of an answer, you can flag the question by clicking Flag Question in the gray box on your left. When you do this, the quiz navigation will then show a small red triangle in the upper right-hand corner of the item in question. Once you've selected answers for all test questions, click Finish Attempt in the quiz navigation box to submit your test for grading. You can also click on the Next button at the bottom of the page of questions. Clicking Finish Attempt will open a summary of your attempt. In the upper right-hand corner, you will see a box labeled Quiz Navigation. This will show you any questions that are flagged with a small red triangle, as well as any questions not yet answered with an all-white box. You can return to the test questions by clicking the Return to Attempt button. This will allow you to go back and review any flagged or unanswered questions. Please note, using your browser's Back button may cause an error, which may result in losing the answers you have already selected. Please use the navigation within the LMS. When you are satisfied with all your answers, click on Submit All and Finish, and your test will be automatically graded. After submitting your test for grading, the next page will display your score. Feedback is included. Be sure to review the feedback provided so you know which questions you may have missed and why you missed them. Please note, you should not attempt to view learning activity solutions or answer keys until you are completely satisfied with your test grade or have completed all attempts for the chapter. Once this file has been opened, the tests will be locked and will no longer be accessible. A second attempt will not be allowed if this happens. You have 2 attempts to pass each study questions test and learning activity test with a score of 70% or higher. If you fail an online test, we strongly encourage you to consult with an instructor before attempting a test for a second and final time. Each study questions test and learning activity test count as a small percentage of your overall course score because these are like homework. Therefore, you can ask for help from the instructor if needed. You also have 2 attempts to pass quizzes and final exams with a score of 70% or higher. The quizzes and final exams are a more extensive testing of your knowledge and therefore count as a larger percentage of the overall course score. It is very important that you score well on these. If you are having a problem with a quiz or final exam, our instructors can only suggest what you may need to review. Please keep this in mind and do not attempt quizzes or final exams until you are certain you are able to pass. After completing all the chapters in a module, the next step is to take the final exam. You should download and print the final exam PDFs first. Keep in mind all tests are open book and you should take advantage of this. If the final exam includes a scenario and tax return to complete, there will be 2 separate tests for the final exam. Part 1 is for the multiple choice questions based on the material covered in the course. Part 2 is for the tax return, which you must prepare based on the scenario provided. If you fail the final exam Part 2, you will not be allowed to retake this portion of the exam. The failing grade will be included in your overall course score. If you are interrupted while in the middle of a graded assignment before you are able to save it or submit it for grading, for example, your internet service goes down or your computer crashes, do not worry. The graded assignment will be paused in progress. Simply click on the test again to continue the last attempt. A general overview of your grades is available by accessing the menu in the top right corner of your screen and selecting My Grades. An in-depth look at your grades is available by accessing the menu in the top right corner of your screen and selecting Course Grades. You must complete your entire course with a minimum average score of 70% on all graded assignments to pass. Options may be available if you fail a module. Contact your school administrators at schooladmin@theincometaxschool.com to discuss possible options. The school administrators will complete a general assessment of your course and notify you if there are options available to you. If you are having trouble with your course content, please email instructor@theincometaxschool.com. Upon successful completion of your course, you will receive a certificate of completion. If you purchased your course through the Income Tax School directly or through one of our partners, you will receive a certificate of completion from the Income Tax School. If you are a student of one of our licensees, you will need to speak with your instructor about receiving a certificate of completion. You will not receive one from the Income Tax School. For 2020 or later courses, you may view and download certificates of completion by going to the upper right corner of your screen and clicking your name to open your profile. Then click Miscellaneous and then My Certificates. For 2019 or earlier courses, you may view and download certificates of completion by clicking on My Certificates at the top of any course page. If you don't receive your certificate of completion, please contact the school administrator at schooladmin@theincometaxschool.com. Thank you for taking the time to review this information. We wish you much success with your course. Please reach out to your instructor or school admin if you have any questions.